Good afternoon, this is Robin Bieber on the European Midday Roundup and Good Morning America chart talk on the 26th of May at 12 o'clock in the morning London time. The chart in front of us is July Brent 60 minute, and what has happened over the course of the morning is we've gently firmed and steadied and then pulled back a little bit, steadying from yesterday's reasonably positive closes, particularly WTI over the 5-day moving average. And at the moment, it's just looking a little bit toppy here on the in July Brent. And if we looked at what RBOB has been up to this morning on the 60-minute chart, it's not really been liquid enough to get a clear steer, but the stochastic would also suggest that in both the cases, and therefore across the board, it's looking a little toppy for the next 2 or 3 hours. We could easily see something of a dip back. And during the course of the morning, targets higher have been hit on Brent and gas oil, so they've completed a price cycle. As I say, the 60 minutes a little bit toppy. There's a danger that we'll take out the 5-day moving average support and test the 8. The market's fine so long as it's above the 5. The momentum is fine so long as it's above the 5. The momentum higher, that is. And staying above the 8 keeps the uptrend intact. Were it to slide below the 8-day, it'd be a slightly different matter. And the spreads, we'll see in a minute, are looking a little bit toppy at the front. Now, if we look firstly at WTI, closed over the 5-day last night, which is good, and has made its way towards 34.72. It's got within 18 cents of its target with a high at 34.54. And so long as it stays over the 5-day at 33.34, which is quite some way below the market, the momentum higher is okay. Were it to take out the 5-day and move lower, then it's fine so long as it holds the 8-day, which comes in around 31.90. A move and close below the 8-day would not be good news. Brent is a bit closer to the 5-day, 33 at 571, and then the 8-day at 35.06. A move below the 5 would suggest a test of the 8-day, but the uptrend is still fine, albeit a little bit toppy, look at this stochastic, whilst over the 8-day. Heating oil, strong and has run up into the area of the resistance close to 102.80. It's made a high at 102.20. It maintains a target to 102.80, whilst above the 5-day at 99. However, if it were to slip below 99, it would be in a little bit of trouble and be looking for another couple of 100 points south to the 8-day at 97.18. So all contracts are pretty much in the same boat. And RBOB is printing 106.17. It's tested its 8-day at 101.81 and held there with a low at 101.82. So this 8-day is very important. It stays over the key correction point at 105.59. That must hold, or it's likely to slide to the 5-day at 104.68 and potentially back down to the 8-day at 101.81. But whilst it stays above the 5 and 8, it's in good shape and has a target to 107.57, which is not quite hit yet. So it's all a matter of the 5 and 8-day moving averages today. Gas oil has made a high at 307, which is probably good enough for its target at 307.50, and it's above the 5 and 8-day moving averages at 297.50 and 293.50. It really needs to get above 307.50 to be breaking north, but so long as it holds the 5 and 8, it's all right. So watching the 5 and 8s this afternoon, I think is very important. We're still suffering from holiday syndrome. In other words, the day off when the light volume and the market makes its move on a light volume, one has to be very wary about that. But just watch the 5 and 8s today. It's entirely plausible that the uptrend remains intact, but we slide below the 5s as we're looking slightly toppy at the moment. And if we look at front end structure, WTI okay on the July org, well over the 5-day at 44. And okay on the org set whilst we hold 48, but we're printing those levels now, and both the 60-minute stochastics for each respective chart, each respective spread, are looking a little bit heavy. And on Brent, the front end, struggling slightly. The July org must hold this green line, minus 57, it's printing minus 55, or it goes south, and the stochastic certainly would suggest a little bit of southerly move. The 60-minute chart is looking a little bit toppy, and on the org slip it's in fine condition whilst it holds minus 45, albeit looking a little toppy. The deck red DEX on WTI, okay on WTI whilst it holds minus 266. A failure there would would probably cause a dip back to 301, the 8-day moving average, but it's been pretty resilient, this spread, and the 5-day looks fairly good support. And equally, the deck red deck on Brent is struggling. It's below the 5-day at minus 342. It looks like it could easily test minus 360, the 8-day moving average. And so long as that holds, it's okay. So across the board, both structure and flat price looking a little bit toppy, and probably need to test the 5-day moving averages, and in some of the structural situations, the 8-day. That's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.